I think we're ready to start. Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone. My name is Antoine Barrajon, and I'm the program coordinator here at the Outdoor Branch. I'd like to begin by recognizing that the Outdoor Branch is located on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We extend our respects to all First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people for their valuable past, present, and future contributions to this land and country. On behalf of the branch, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's session titled Get Gardening Ready, Strength and Stretch to Protect Your Joints, presented by AIM Fitness. I want to give a warm welcome to our presenter, Meg Stickl, older adults fitness specialist and founder of AIM Fitness. So in today's session, Meg will demonstrate exercises that help strengthen your legs, back, and shoulders while also improving flexibility. So these are movements that can help reduce strain when bending, lifting, reaching, and kneeling in the garden. Before we begin, I also want to give a special welcome here to anyone who is not yet a member of the association. We hope that these webinars inspire you to join us. And to our members, we hope these webinars encourage you to maintain your membership with us. I also want to mention that closed captions are available in both French and English. So to access this feature, please click on the closed captions button at the bottom of your screen. If you don't see the closed captions button, you can click on the option that says more, and then you should be able to see the closed captions option. To translate, just click on the little arrow next to the closed captions button and select the translate options, and then your closed captions will be displayed in French. Finally, if you have any questions for Meg, please type them in the Q&A box on Zoom, and she'll be able to answer all your questions at the end of the presentation. So that's all from me, so I'll pass it over to Meg. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Antoine. Welcome, everyone. I am assuming if you are here this morning that you are a gardener. So I am really excited to lead you in today's webinar. It is going to be very hands-on. We are going to be focusing on different movements to really help to strengthen your back, strengthen your upper body and lower body so that gardening becomes easier and also recovery becomes easier too. I'm sure you've had times where you've gone out to the garden and then the next day you pay for it. So the goal is to give you some tools and some movements that you can really use today. So before I do that, I have a really quick announcement. I know many of you watch my show on Rogers TV, which NAFR sponsors, called Fit Over 50 with Meg. And you guys are the first to know this, but we have been renewed for another season. So I'm working on season 4, and I'll be filming this at the end of June. So I'm telling you this because I'm going to be putting out a survey, and I would love your feedback. So if you could let me know by filling out the survey, let me know the types of workouts you've enjoyed, what you'd like to see more of in season 4. And that would really help me as I prepare for our next season. So I will send out that link that will go out with this recording. So you can be sure to fill that out. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to encourage you to stand up. We are going to be using weights and a resistance band and a chair for today's workout. So I'm going to hook up to my sound here. So we're going to get started today with a warm-up. So we're going to start by circling the shoulders backwards, stepping side to side. Right now, I was planning to do this workout alone today, and then someone came to the door. So I've got Fit Finley, who's joining me today here for his morning nap. All right, so before we get gardening, it's really important to move our bodies to warm up the muscles that we're going to be using. So we're going to start by lifting the shoulders up, circling back, and stepping side to side. We want to prevent injury, we want to prevent strain, and there's a lot of movements that we can do while being in the garden that can really interfere with a pain-free life. Right, now from here, we're going to be bringing one leg in front, one leg back. So about as wide as your hips. And we're going to be shifting forwards and back. So lift your toe and then lift your heel. And what we'll do here is we'll swing those arms. You extend and reach back, and then reach in front as you lift your heel. Breathing in and out. And so you'll feel this in the leg, especially as you lift that toe. Feel that in your calf. Okay, good. Let's do another 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Let's change legs. Opposite leg in front. And then same thing. Lift the toes, lift the heel, swinging the arms. So I want to really encourage you today to listen to your body, do what you can, and if there's any movements that don't feel that great, maybe because of a shoulder injury or a sore back, then do work at your own pace. Let's do another 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. So from here, we're going to step side to side and look over your shoulder. So look the direction that you're stepping. So you want to warm up the neck as we are going to be moving it quite a bit later on. Side to side. Look to the left and to the right. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All right, legs nice and wide. One hand on your hip, and we're going to lift your arm to the side. And if you have osteoporosis, keep that spine nice and straight. If you don't, then you can lean to the side. So stretching into the side body. So legs are wide to give us a nice base of support. And breathe out. This is one of my favorite ways to start my workout. Really feel that underneath the arm down the side of your torso. Good. So most of these movements we are going to be doing between 10 to 15 times. But you can always choose to do a few less or a few extras if you'd like. Right. 3, and 2, and 1. Great. Good. Circle those shoulders back and just notice, do you feel a difference from one side to the other? Look at a little twist. You can notice a little less tightness on one side, and then we'll move to the other side. Legs wide again, hand on your hip, lean to the side. So just reaching the arm only, osteoporosis or any issues with a bulging disc. Otherwise, you can lean and stretch. Yeah, now try not to lean forwards. You want to lean to the side. Breathing in, breathing out. And you may have one side that really needs this today. So you can pay attention to that. Another 3, and 2, good, and 1. All right, good. So we're going to take it to a twist. If you've osteoporosis, just the arms. If you don't, then we want to think about twisting from the waist, not the hips. So our hips are facing the front of the room, twisting from the waist. You feel this in the spine. I'm sure you've heard the movement. Motion is lotion. Motion is lotion. So we want to keep moving. And even after our workouts, if you're doing a traditional workout, we want to keep snacking on exercise. I'm sure you've heard me talk about that. So that's doing about 5 to 10 minutes of movement at a time. It doesn't have to be a full hour. It doesn't have to be even a half hour. Small increments really add up. Right, now see if you can also look over your shoulder as you go, stretching into our neck. See how far can you look. More per side. And 2. And 1. All right, amazing. So another important part of the body to work is our hips. So we'll take your feet about as wide as your hips, and then we're going to keep those legs straight and take those hips right around for hip circles. This improves mobility of the hips, which is important when we're walking on uneven terrain, maybe going up and down stairs, maybe stepping over curbs. We need to be improving our balance. And a good place to start there is hip mobility. Okay, guys, a circle right around, just like a hula hoop. And circle the other way. And let's do a few more. 3, and 2, and 1. All right, good. Now from here, we're going to be moving to some marches, so marching on the spot. And I want you to think about a few things as we go. So shoulders are back. If you need to, hold on to that chair. We are going to be adding in an extra balance element in just a minute. We want to think about lifting our knees until your knees are parallel to the ground. So lifting nice and high, not low, but as high as you can go. And then you want to engage that core. So pull your stomach in as you arms can be at your sides, swinging nice and gently. Okay, good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add a balance element where we're going to be circling our ankle. So we're going to count to 3. We'll do 3 steps and then we'll lift and we'll circle. I recommend standing a little closer to your chair. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 and hold. Circle that ankle for count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And down, other side. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Circling that ankle. So using the chair for support. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. So 1, 2, 3, and hold. Circling the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Might hear some cracking. This is the point where most people hear their ankles cracking. And hold. Challenge yourself. Maybe 1 finger this time. Circle the ankle for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Tighten up that core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to do 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Circling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the other side. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, excellent. So I've got 1 more. This is another good one for mobility, and then we're going to move into some exercises with weights. So you can use that chair, or you can have your hands on your hips. We're going to bring one foot right in front of the other and lift that toe. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be hinging from your hips. You can bend into the back leg, your front leg stays straight, and then we're going to be leaning over towards that toe. So we're going to stand tall each time, and for 10 times we're going to lean and try to tap your toe. Now if you can't tap it, reach as far as you can, and you'll feel that stretch all the way up that leg. Continue. This is 3. Stand tall. Good. Hand on your hip or use the chair. I like the chair for support. 5. Notice is that you can go a little bit further as your leg warms up. 6, 7, 8. Remember to breathe. 9, lift that toe. And last one for 10, we'll hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and good. All right, so walk that out. You'll probably feel the difference in the leg that you worked. Okay, that's an excellent one to do before you go out to the garden, just to get rid of some of that stiffness in your back and especially in the back of your leg. Let's do the other side. So one leg in front, lift that toe, keep it lifted, in from the hips, and lean and reach. So that's 1. And 2. Standing tall in between each reach. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you notice that you go a little further. 8, 9, and 10. All right, good. So walk that out and notice how those legs feel. I just feel like I'm stretched out. Feels so good. All right, wonderful. So from here, let's grab a sip of water and we're going to grab our dumbbell weights. So I'm going to be using 5-pound weights today. You can use anything you have at home. 2 pounds all the way up to 8 pounds is fine. And if you don't have weights, grab a water bottle or you can grab something else that's a bit heavy. All right, so water break first. Okay, excellent. So when we use our weights, remember to relax your shoulders. Oftentimes we do tense up and that produces tenser muscles. We want to relax so we can build strong muscles instead. All right, so the first one we're going to do is with the chair. So you can grab that chair, have a seat. Our first one is a sit to stand with a hold. So we're going to hold on to those weights just right about at your waist height. Position your feet so that your toes are out and then your heels are right under your knees. And then you don't want to sit too far back on the chair. It's easier to stand up if you're close to the edge. So you're going to rise up and then stand up tall. And just hold on to those weights right where they are. Elbows are bent. Here we go. So all the way up, shoulders are back, and then sit back down on your chair. I'll give you a few options. Maybe you do your sit to stands every day. I hope so. It's a great way to strengthen the legs. And this one is just like you're carrying something. Maybe it's soil or carrying some gardening tools. We want to develop upper body strength along with the ability to get up off the ground. That's strong legs. All right, so another option here is instead of sitting all the way down, just tap your bum to the chair. So that's more like a squat. We want to take our hips back like you're sitting on the chair and then you change your mind. All right, so that's the other option. Choose your option. Breathe in, breathe out. A lot of people ask me, they'll say, Meg, I don't know if my weights are heavy enough. And the question is, what do you do during the day? So if you are a gardener, you're probably carrying up to 5, maybe 10 pounds, maybe even more, especially if you're lifting those big bags of soil. So we want to train our bodies for everyday life, and especially for tasks that we're doing. So if you're lifting a 2-pound weight, that's not going to really help you with a 10-pound bag of soil. So maybe time to go up. All right, here we go. Do 3 more of these. 3, 2, and 1. All right, you can stay standing for our next one. Chair off to the side. The next one is called the deadlift. So we're going to bring both of your weights right above your knees. So you can hold on to those weights. We're going to be hinging from the hips, similar to what we did for the other one, and have a slight bend to those knees. All right, so we want to be doing our hip hinge. Take those hips back. Our upper body is nice and straight. And then as you rise up, squeeze your back, squeeze your glutes. Shoulders continue to be back. There we go. Hinge forward and rise up. So you can rest those weights right on your legs. Up and then up. So this is a really good one for the back. This is teaching proper lifting. Proper lifting, which is really important for back health. Worst thing you can do is round your back and lift something heavy. It will definitely strain your back. Instead, we want to think of using your legs when you lift. That back straight and doing this motion with the hip hinge will help. Right, let's breathe in, breathe out. Good. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Right, wonderful. So the next one we're going to do is called the dumbbell farmer carry. So we're going to be taking some steps with our weights. Now, if you have lighter weights, what you can do is you can always hold on to both weights together. So say if you have your 2 pounds, you can hold on to it. So at least you have 4 pounds on one side. Mine are 5 pounds, so I've got 10 pounds on one side, which is really more realistic for what I'm doing outside in the garden. So what we'll do is we're going to take some steps right around your space. So it doesn't have to be very far, but just going side to side. And getting used to having extra weight on one side, or you can hold on to both weights. So we're bending that elbow just a little bit to support arm. Great. Good. Face me again and continue with one side. We're going to do 2 side steps. 2 the other way. 1, 2, and 2. 1, 2. All right, let's switch to the other side. So safely hold on to both. I find if you cross them, then you can hold on to them a little easier. So let's travel around the room. Maybe this is a watering can that you're carrying. Gardening shears. Facing me, we'll do our 2 side steps again. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going to hold on to your weights, run in both in one in each hand, and we're going to move to a step over squat. So give yourself a little bit of extra space. Chair okay. All right, so we're going to step over to the side here. So lift your leg like you're stepping over top of a hole and squat. Bend those knees. Lift that leg nice and high. Side the other and do continue. Big step over. Legs are wide. Bend the knees, hips back, squat. And then bring that foot together. We're going to do it again. Other way. 2 squats. Step over. Squat. Hips back. Weight in the heels. Lift that knee. Again, other side. Lifting up and over, hips back. Bring that foot together. And again, the other way. Up and over. And squat. One more. Up and over, hips back. All right, awesome. One more here, hips back. Good, and then one more the other way. Bring that foot side the other, lift that leg. Hips back, squat. One more time. All right, wonderful. So that's a really good one for legs, leg strength, to be able to get up and down off the ground and getting used to holding something that's a little heavier than what we do every day. All right, so the next one, our bicep curl and press out. This is a good one as well for upper body strength. So we're going to be lifting the weights up to your shoulders. And then from here, we're going to be pressing out in front, more challenging with a heavier weight. If you have any shoulder issues, just stick with this, the bicep curl, shoulders, and then back down. But if you're able to, let's lift, press out, arms in, and then bend and lower from the elbows. Elbows stay close to the body. Don't touch. In and out. So if we're lifting soil, lifting tools, we need that upper body strength. Breathing in, breathing out. You'll notice I'm not speeding through these movements. If we just go with momentum and we go really quick, we're not actually building that strength. So it's important to go slow, slower than you think. You'll feel yourself working harder. Okay, good. Do another 3. And 2. And 1. All right, good job, everyone. So you can set those weights down. We're done with them. Grab some water. We'll move to our resistance band exercises. Okay, great job. We'll be doing both standing and seated exercises with the band. This one, the band that I have, and I really recommend getting this brand, it's called TheraBand, and it's the one that physiotherapists use. I have not had many, I should say, not many of them rip or break. There's other brands that I've used that I don't really like, but they don't last as long. So our first one we're going to do is for upper body. This is called the pull apart. So I want you to wrap your hands, wrap right around your palms, avoid those fingers. And we want our hands to be a little bit wider than your shoulders. Yeah. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to stand tall and bend those knees slightly, bend those elbows, and then pull out to the side until your arms are completely straight. So we want the band to be tight in this position so that you can feel arms working. And you want to feel them as we go. So you should feel this in the shoulders, in the chest. For the breathing, we want to breathe out as we pull. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, bend those elbows, breathe out, straighten the arms. All right, very good. Now, if you do have one arm, let's say that is bothering you, you're not as strong, you can always do one side at a time. Okay, so that's another option, one arm at a time. And so let's continue. A few more. Now, what is this one good for? This one is going to help us improve our posture. We are leaning over, we're bending over, doing all of our things. And in order to correct this, we need to strengthen and stretch the chest and the upper back. Right, good. Let's do another 3. And 2. And 1. Good. All right, we're going to do another one for the upper body. So this time we're going to take the band behind you. So just imagine you have a skipping rope. Take it behind, and then we want your band to be right around your waist. This time we're going to be holding onto the band, fit around your thumb, and then hold on. Right. So we are going to take your arms out to the side. So bring your hands back so the band is tight in this position, elbows bent. And then we're going to be lengthening the arms out, then the elbows in. Good. Stretching the band out and in. Reach the arms and then squeeze your elbows and your shoulder blades back as you return your arms to the starting position. Breathe in, breathe out. We want to exhale on the effort. Inhale and exhale. Another good one for posture. Feel this one in the shoulders. And if you can't feel it, sometimes that's the case, that's all right. Walk your hands closer towards your bodies to make the band tighter. Then you will feel it if you weren't before. All right, let's do another 3. And 2. And 1. All right, that's great. So from here, we are going to move to the chair and focus on a few leg exercises with our resistance band. Seat. We're going to begin by looping the band right underneath your thighs. So this is another one where we want to sit right towards the edge of the chair. Take that band out and crisscross. Hold onto the band, tighten it up as hard as you can. And then we want our feet to be together, knees together, hands at our side. So we're going to be pulling the band out to the side by just using those hips, using the knees. This is the hip strengthener exercise. Remember to sit up tall, relax the shoulders. Pulling out. And the band should be about mid-thigh for this one. Pressing out against the band. You should feel this in the outer thigh. Right, and this one is helpful for hip strength. We need to have strong hips for stability on the ground. So when we're walking around, maybe you have some hills or some dips in your backyard. So we do want to make sure we feel stable as we're walking. So with you here, out and in. Do 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. That's great. All right, you can release and then stretch it out. Take your knees out and in. Legs. Okay. From here, we're going to move to the leg press. So we're going to be using that resistance band under one foot. So put the middle underneath your shoe. Hopefully you're wearing shoes. And then lean all the way back against your chair. Tighten up the band. Elbows stay right by your side. And then we're going to be pressing out and then bringing your knee in. Press out against the band. You should feel the tension. If not, tighten it up. And as the knee comes in, activate that core. Bring your stomach in and then press out. All right, that's good. Let's keep going. Right, last two. And one. Good. All right, let's release. Let's do the other side. First, before you do that, again, stretch it out. Change legs. Leg up, lean back, and same thing, press out. Bring the knee in, tighten the core. Press. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Two more. And one. All right, good. Let's lower that foot down. And again, stretch that out. Knees out and in. Good. So that's a really good one to strengthen those legs, getting up and down off the ground. Now, our next one we're going to do is for our back strength. So we're going to be looping the band right underneath your 2 feet this time. So lengthen the legs. Walk your heels away from you. Keep those toes lifted. So we're going to be moving to our row. So you can hold on to that band, sitting tall, relax the arms first, and then we're going to bend the elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades back. And then release the arms. Squeeze and release. Now this one again, you can adjust to make it easier or more challenging. So if this one is too easy so far, walk your hands a little lower down the band. It'll be tighter, and then you'll feel your back having to work a bit harder. That's what we want. It's always worth pausing for a minute and asking yourself, can I make this a little bit more challenging, or is this good for me? Taking the time to exercise, we want to make sure we're doing things properly and safely. Squeeze, pause, and release. Bend those elbows, squeeze, pause, and release. We're going to pause, 1, 2, and release. Pause, 1, 2, and release. This is a huge one, I would say, out of all the people I know who are gardeners, which are a lot of people, it's usually people's backs that are the most stiff and the most sore after being in the garden. And I would say for myself, that's the case for me too. So strengthening your back, stretching your back will be helpful. This is one of my favorite ways to strengthen it. 2, 3, and 2, and 1. Good. All right. Then move that band off to the side. And let's stretch. We're going to stretch your back. We're going to be rounding through your back and doing a seated cat and cow. So round through the back, look down. And then look up and arch the back, bring your shoulders back, look to the ceiling. So again, rounding. And then arch, looking up, shoulders come back. And again, rounding through the spine. And arch. And then continue. Let's do 5 more of each. And 4. 3. And 2. And one. All right, good, good. So from here, we're going to be moving to a few exercises specifically for your shoulders because we do really require shoulder strength and mobility. So I'm going to have you stand with me up, and we are going to be doing a shoulder blade squeeze. So I want you to bring both arms right in front and then bend your elbows and squeeze up. So similar to what we were doing with the resistance band with our row. This is done without any equipment, and you'll feel a nice stretch. You'll feel some tightening happening. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. All right, one more here for without the weights. Then we're going to move back to our weights. Hands together and open up through the chest. So hands in, squeeze the shoulder blades back, open that through the chest and close. It's a good one for the rotator cuff, part of the shoulder that often becomes strained. And now as we continue, let's look up as you open, look down as you bring your hands together. Stretch into through the neck as well. 3 and 2 and 1. All right, good. So the next ones I'm going to show you, you can do with or without weights. It's up to you. We're going to be doing a front raise. So this without weights, we're going to have our arms right in front, palms facing down, lift just about shoulder height, and then lower those arms down again. Okay, so lifting and lowering. So building shoulder strength. Now the other option is grabbing your weights, doing it with weights. Your shoulders tend to bother you, then do one at a time or without weights. Shoulder height and then lower down. So we want to protect our joints. Sometimes I see people lifting their arms too high. Now double check. We don't want it to be any higher than the shoulders. There's no extra benefit. And I find exercising in front of a mirror for ones like this can really show you what you're doing and it can help you correct your posture as well. All right, one more of each. And last one. Good. Next, we're going to be doing a side raise. So arms are at your side. Same thing, you can do it without the weight or with both arms together. No higher than your shoulders. Slight bend to the elbow, just so you're not locking your joint. Lower. We all have one stronger side, so sometimes I see this where someone is stronger on one side than the other. And the best thing to do if that's the case for you is do 5 extra repetitions on the weaker side. So you can build up the strength equally. Okay, and so again, you can do this without the weights if this is too much for your shoulders. Lift and lower, breathing in, breathe out as you lift. All right. Okay, good job, one more. Excellent. So we're gonna set the weights down. And I have another one that is so important for upper body strength, especially if you are down on the ground and you need to push yourself up to get up off the ground when you're gardening. So we're going to go over to the wall, reposition my camera so you can see, and we're going to be doing some wall push-ups. So I'm going to show you the proper way to do a push-up. So we want to position our bodies first. So we want to take 3 steps away from the wall. And then once we do that, we want to have our hands at shoulder height. So not too high, not too low, right at shoulder height. And your fingers are going to be facing each other inwards, so you're creating a triangle. Then we want to move our hands out to the side so they're at shoulder height. And as you bend, we're going in towards the wall, elbows are wide, and then straighten the arms completely. All right, so let's get in position. You may have to move away from the camera, so just listen to my voice. So we're going to take 3 steps away from the wall. So heel to toe, 1, 2, and 3. Feet are about as wide as your hips. And then bring those hands to the wall. We'll have to lean in a bit. Angle those fingers in for your triangle. And then from here, elbows bend out to the side. Lower yourself to the wall. And then push away until your arms are straight. Sometimes I see this, bum is out. Tuck everything in so you're one straight line. So we're going to be doing, we're going to start with 10 push-ups, and then we can always do a few extras here. All right, inhale, exhale as you press away from the wall. And yes, it is normal for your heels to lift off the floor. I get asked that question often. So this is strengthening shoulders, your arms are working, your chest, your back. And you can tighten up your core as well. Right, 2 more and we're at 10. And 1. Now, if you're feeling really strong and ambitious, let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Woo, that's a great one. So circle those shoulders back. I was watching a video recently, and the lecturer was saying the best exercise we can do is the push-up, because if you fall on the floor or if you go down intentionally, we need to have upper body strength to get us back up. If we don't have that strength, it's going to be so hard to do that, and we'll need help from others. So keep that in mind. Keep doing your wall push-ups. Sometimes we think we have to do a push-up on the floor for it to count. No, you can do them also on counters. So in your kitchen counter works really well, and it's not as much of a strain on your shoulders. All right, good job, good job. So we're going to do a few stretches. We're going to finish up. We're almost done. I hope you're doing really well, feeling good. We're going to continue to stand. Take one arm right across, reach for your elbow, and gently pull the arm in. So you should feel this stretch down the shoulder and the arm. And then take your legs a little wider. We'll shift our weight side to side. So I've been celebrating with a fun birthday week. So my birthday was last week. My baby, Mason, has turned 1 year old. So his birthday was yesterday. And then tomorrow, Finley has his birthday. Very busy, fun week for us over here. All right, take both arms back behind you. Reach as far back as you can, wiggling those fingers. And then we'll do the other arm. And by that elbow, gently press in. Same thing, shift side to side. Curious if there's any other May birthdays. We've been meeting so many people who had birthdays all around this time as well. So it's a really popular time. And always fun to celebrate. All right, good. So we're going to continue stretching the upper body. Let's reach your hand right in front. Pull gently back on your fingers. Don't forget about your thumb. Gently back, stretching our forearm, wrist. And as we stretch, we want to do We want to hold the position for about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And we want to think about moving our body for warming up before we go gardening. And then after, this is when we want to do the static stretches. All right, circle that wrist. Other way. And then switch sides. So palm is up. Pull back gently on the fingers. Very good. And then release, same thing, circle. And the other way. All right, we're doing well. We're going to finish up a few more stretches for the legs. So you can stand behind that chair. And we are going to grab that foot. I'm going to show you two options. Option one is to tuck your toes under and then lean back. So we're stretching through the quad. There's option one if it's hard to reach for your foot. Option two, the advanced option is this, grabbing that foot, bringing your knees in together. Stretching our quads. This is important when we're doing all of the bending over, rising back up. Our legs will feel all of the up and down motions. Good. Let's do the other side. So other side, option one, curling the toe under and leaning down. Or grab that foot. Stand tall. Bring the feet, the knees in together. Very good. Let's release and then take a big step backwards this time, stretching into the calf muscle. Okay, so bend into the front knee, back leg stays straight, and then lean over, lean towards that chair. And you'll feel that top of the calf. Now, if you want to challenge your balance, you can reach with one arm or reach with both arms. Good. All right, let's step in, step back with the other leg. Bending into that front knee, feeling that stretch right away. Don't be afraid to take a big, big step back. If your feet are too close, you won't feel it in the same way. Option one, challenge, or option two. Okay, good. Hands on the chair, step in, and then we're going to sit down for one of my favorite stretches for the hips. This is called the figure four stretch. So you're going to take one leg over the other. Option one is simply lean it over. Your leg may be like this. It may not be flat across. If you're able to, tuck your foot in a little closer to you and bend a bit further. So this is a really great one for that hip. If you've had a hip replacement on the side, cross a little bit lower, so below the knee or at the ankles and lean over. Right, so it's all about choosing our options. But don't skip this step. A lot of people don't stretch after gardening, and that's when they end up feeling really stiff and sore the next day. So don't skip it. Remember, stretching is so important, so important. All right, other side. So option one, crossing a little lower, leaning over, or take the leg higher up. And keep that back straight, so we're just hinging slightly. You'll know when you feel this one. You'll know when you know. And breathing in and out. All right, let's release. Gotta take the knees out and in like we've done earlier. Right, and then let's stand up. We've got one more for you. We're gonna stand behind your chair for a child's pose variation. So we're gonna bring our hands to the back of the chair and then walk those feet back like you're folding yourself in half. And take some deep breaths right here. So our knees are slightly bent. Feel that pull up the back of the legs. Your back is straight. And finish by breathing. Now the other option is if you have done this before, you can always go a little lower, placing your hands right on the seat. Do that same thing. So deepen the stretch. So this is option 2. So your choice. Such a good stretch for the back of your body. Good way to end. One more deep breath here. Slowly come on up. Good. And then we're going to finish with 5 deep breaths together. So arms open up nice and wide. Reach back for an inhale and an exhale. Give yourself a hug. Inhale and exhale. Noticing how you're feeling. And 2 and 1. And give yourself a pat on your back. Wonderful job. All right, so we've got a few more minutes. If anyone has a question, you can pop it right in the Q&A. I'd also love to know what you're working on, what's going on in your garden. So are you someone who is weeding right now, cutting things back as new growth appears? Are you moving any plants? I know we're moving some hostas from one area in the backyard to another area. Maybe you are buying some new flowers, you're planting them, you're starting to prepare or plant or come up with an idea of what the garden is going to look like. Or maybe it's maintenance at this point. So let me know, maybe vegetables are coming up as well. So let me know what you're going to be working on this year. All right, I have one comment, one question, so I'll read that. All right, Terry says, I am recovering from a twisted knee and it is difficult to kneel or bend my knees completely. Presently, I have a short stool to help while gardening. What exercises can I do to help regain the mobility in my knee and strengthen the surrounding muscles to stabilize it? All right, great question, Terry. I'm sorry to hear about your knee. That can really hurt. So the one we did a few today with the resistance band. I would say rewatch that segment where we did the leg press. The band is around your leg, around your foot, and you press your leg out and in. That one will really help. And then simply a leg extension. So sitting, I'll demonstrate, sitting on the chair. Extending the leg, so bending the knee and extending the leg. That can really help as well. And then doing our sit to stands, that's going to be really helpful too. All right, so focus on those ones. Good idea to grab a stool instead of being directly on your knees. And I know there's all sorts of places that you can order like little mini stools or extra support for your knees too. Glenda says, I need to protect the left side of my neck at back or end back. I use less or no weight on that side and avoid push-up type movements. Any other advice for gardening? So for those of you with one side that maybe is strained or you just don't have that strength, see if you can do a little bit more on the other side. One piece of advice is to take a break. I've worked with quite a few clients who are avid gardeners and they don't like to stop. And I'm kind of the same way. Once I'm doing something, I don't like to stop. But the best thing for you to do is take breaks. So even if you go out for 20 minutes, set a timer because time can go by really fast when you're in the garden. But work for 20 minutes, use the stronger side, and then take a break. Stand, stretch, have some water, go for a little walk, and then continue after. You don't feel like you need to push through. I think that's when a lot of injuries happen, is when we just keep going when our body is screaming for us to stop and take a break. So definitely do that. Okay, good. I've got a few more comments here. Um, okay, yeah, the this presentation will be recorded. Yes, Ellen, definitely. How do we access more of your great exercise routines? All right, thanks, Lori. So there, all of the replays. I've done a presentation once a month for now for a long time now. I think we're going into like 6 years. So you can go to their YouTube channel for all of the replays. And then I also have a program called AIM Fitness Online, which is a fitness membership. And I offer 33% off to all NAFR members. So if you would like to exercise with me, if you'd like the idea of shorter videos, 20, 30-minute workouts, then I would love to help you. And you can definitely reach out, book a call with me. We can talk all about that. All right. Marianne says, this will get me ready to seed the lawn. Lots of bags of black earth to haul. Awesome. Good. Rheumatoid arthritis, is stretching good for it? Yes, movement is good. Movement is good. So the mobility exercises that we did, the chest openers, all of that. Movement is medicine. So the best thing you can do is keep your body moving. But again, listen to your body. You'll know when it's too much. So again, 20-minute exercise segments at a time can be really beneficial if you have rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, good. I think that's it.
Yeah, and
That's
we're
it.
just past 11 o'clock, so we'll uh, we'll stop it here. So thank you everyone for participating in today's webinar, and thank you to Meg for the lovely workout. I think we're all ready to go and hit the garden right after this. I just want to remind everyone that there will be a follow-up email that will come out later today, that will be sent to you, and it'll contain the recording for today's session, as well as the information on Meg's AIM Fitness membership that you can join, as well as the discount code that you can use to get that 33% discount that Meg mentioned. I also want to let everyone know that we do have an in-person technology workshop with Connected Canadians that's coming up on June 5th. So there will be a presentation on getting your digital accounts and files ready for end of life, followed by a one-on-one support session with Connected Canadians mentors to help with your devices or any tech questions that you may have. So we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you there. To register and for full details, please visit our website at nafrottawa.com and visit our events page. And that's also where you'll be able to find the links to all our upcoming webinars. And remember that you can also invite non-members to try our webinars for free as a guest and hopefully get them to register for the association. So thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you on June 5th and at our next webinars. Bye, everyone.